Here we are in Manizales, Colombia, the capital of Caldas, my hometown, my home city. And we're close to the Cerro San Casio in the barrio that is named after it. And here, it's mostly apartment complexes that are not that high, but this is a very clean and safe part of the city. And so today I'd like to give you the context for a poem of mine titled Sungroove. I wrote Sungroove about in 2017, 2016, around that time. Whenever I was getting out of high school, I was finishing my studies to get my diploma. And in that time, there was a lot of, you'd say, personal turmoil because I had well, I went from having one girlfriend who was extremely difficult to deal with and finishing with her, and then eventually getting kicked out of my house at the time because of certain personal situations, and then going to live with another girlfriend. But it was during that time that I spent a lot of time outside in the parks in Clear Lake, Houston, the south part of Houston, and in Friendswood, around that area. And I remember going out into the parks a lot, into these areas where there wasn't any kind of development, where it was mostly just pure forest. And during that time, there was a lot of there wasn't a lot of rain, there wasn't a lot of storms or anything. So during the nights, I could see the stars because those areas aren't particularly that lit up. You don't have a lot of light pollution compared to the center of Houston. It's about an hour out. Um, and I remember that in that turmoil of jumping from one situation, one emotional distress to another emotional weight. In all of that, I took a lot of comfort in looking at the stars, and in a certain way, the movements, the undulations of my own life, I felt reflected in the stars that I got to see in that time. And so the poem Sungroove, uh, where I felt like in the poem I said, I am famished on the long waters on an uncaring serpent's back, where I felt that I was just riding a tide, riding through a river. But during all of that, through me is born all of these different flowers, all of these different suns, all these stars that I see that as I'm laying down looking up at the stars. And so the groove of my own life and of my emotions was reflected in the sky above me. And I felt that those sunflowers born inside me were being provoked to come out and be granted to the world in a dance.